Biden telling a magazine reporter last week, if someone feels threatened in their home, they should, quote, just fire a shotgun through the door. Well, a Virginia man did just that, and now 21-year-old Trevor Snowden is facing some serious legal trouble. Judge Alex Ferrer is the host of Judge Alex. Judge, first of all, this guy's charged with reckless handling of a firearm. He's been released on a summons. Is it a defense for him to say the vice president told me this was going to be okay?
No, that's absolutely not a defense, because I think pretty much all of America agrees you should not rely on Senator Biden for firearm handling advice.
Vice President now.
Vice President, I'm sorry. The times that I've heard him actually give firearm handling advice, all of it has been absolutely illegal. So I don't care if you're Democrat, Republican, or Independent, you should not be following his advice.
And you are a former police officer.
Yes, and I've heard several versions of the story. I've read several versions of the story, and in one of them, he sees somebody outside his house wearing masks and fires wildly through the window with a shotgun, which I guess is akin to what Senator Biden said about just shoot through the door if you want to get somebody away from your door. Completely illegal. I mean, you might be afraid, but there's no imminent risk of danger there. And self-defense in most of the United States, and Virginia in particular, is the castle doctrine when you're in your home, which is you don't have to retreat from imminent risk of serious bodily harm or death. When they're outside your house, that's the time to call 911 and wait patiently with the shotgun to make sure they don't come in, not to shoot through the window and accidentally kill your neighbor's kid.
And this business, and that's why the law is so clear, but this business of just shooting through the door, I mean, we saw this in the Oscar Pistorius case over in South Africa. You just shoot through the door because you're afraid. This is the defendant in that case's theory. You could shoot an innocent person, and that's why the law generally, Judge, requires you to have a clear target or view of something before shooting.
And you can make a mistake and still not be charged, as long as a reasonable person would be in imminent fear of serious bodily injury or death. Now, the other version I read, which might be his explanation later when he got in trouble, was that masked men with guns were climbing through his bedroom window. So he slammed the bedroom door shut and shot with the shotgun through the bedroom door at them. If that were the case, that would be okay, because I don't think anybody would question that a reasonable person seeing masked men coming through the window armed would be in imminent fear of serious bodily injury or death.
But if
that would be the appropriate use.
So Trevor, 22-year-old Trevor, is now facing these criminal charges, but he could also be sued, could he not, Judge? I mean, you could potentially be subject to a negligence case, to possible wrongful death if you shot the wrong person.
If you live out in the sticks, you probably have no problem if you're in like the country. But most of us live with neighbors, and bullets and shotgun pellets do not stop at the boundary of your property. They continue until they come to rest somewhere, and preferably it's not in your neighbor's child or something like that. And those kinds of mistakes, number one, obviously can get you criminally charged if you didn't abide by the law, and number two, will most certainly get you civilly sued. So he could have faced civil liability if he had actually injured anybody.
Yeah.
And if they were actually criminals, frankly, nobody would care if they were criminals.
Yeah, no one's going to sue. So just so the viewers know, Judge Alex is saying do not take the vice president's advice on this. Jonathan Turley, who's a left-leaning law professor, comes out and says this is stupid advice. I can assure you, he writes, that firing a shotgun out your window or porch is both illegal and negligent. So there you have it. Don't listen to that particular advice from the vice president. And good luck to you, Trevor. Judge, thanks for being here.
Always a pleasure, Megan.
See you soon. Up next, Washington